Alrighty, well, so day number 32, main gaining. Out here, getting our last bit of steps in. Already went and did quite a bit of walking. Had a busier day today, just taking care of stuff. Went and got my hair cut, good fresh. That's always good. So you feel a little better when you're cleaned up, and when you're cleaned up and you feel better, you end up kind of performing a little better overall. Something about just looking good. Boost your mood a little bit, no matter what you got going on. It always kind of helps some to just be cleaned up and whatnot. And that is one squeaky, noisy, beat down mail truck. That's pretty funny. But, it always kind of helps. So, for me at least, gives me a little more motivation to get out in the gym for, the next week or so when I'm all super freshly cut up and trimmed. So, it's kind of funny how those weird little things sometimes just help change your motivation in the way you're feeling. But, that could be multiple different things for people, sometimes looking forward to a cheat meal when it's coming up in a couple days. That's going to make you grind a little harder knowing you're just about to that little goal, or like a deload week coming up, or you've got maybe a graduation or something coming up and you've completed something. Those little just random bumps in life seem to definitely make staying committed to healthy habits a little bit easier. So, and I mean, that's really what it is, right? It's committing to a healthy habit. You've got many factors to break those healthy habits, but not many, it seems, to try to support and keep them. And that's what's kind of really going to build your progress in anything, is just being able to stay consistent. So if you can set little rewards and like markers more or less for goals as you're going along to gain a little self-gratification, that kind of ends up making it easy to stay towards your path, per se, right? So, I mean, at least it does for me. So, same thing with when I'm coming up on a PR attempt for something, makes me feel good, or like when I change up my training style and now, for example, going from singles, like the last training block, and now we're hitting triples. And when I'm able to move that triple up on a 1 or 2 sizes a week, that makes you feel good. The showing progress, so things like that keeps me motivated, and it's easy to see that because you can either pick it up or you can't, type of deal, right? So there's certain things that are obviously easier to reach than others, but those harder things, if you put a little small goal from where you are to the halfway point to reach, and then reach for that bigger goal, you're going to be able to accomplish something and feel good about the progress you're making, be less likely to become demotivated, or should I say, lose consistency. This motivation comes and goes. I could feel motivated right now to go work out in an hour and a half or something, and then get into working out do 2 sets and be like, yeah, this sucks. So, but then it's being consistent. It's grinding through that workout or test or whatever. You study for a test, feel prepared, you get to your test, and you're like, man, I don't feel so prepared, but you're just, kind of undermining yourself. Just second guessing. You know the material, you've studied the material, so you just got to do it, type of thing. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of run into issues, is they made those little tasks get to the big thing, and then they just mentally check out. They could have completed it, could have finished it, could have lifted it, could have passed that test, but they didn't believe in themselves to complete the task, even though they've done all the work to get there, right? So, I don't know. Just something I've been thinking about. It's, how often people put in the work to complete a goal, but then stop at like the 1 yard line, to put it in a football reference. So it's like, instead of making that charge for the 1 yard, they go ahead and take a kneel and accept the loss, type of thing. It doesn't make sense. But hey, it is what it is, right? But for us, we push. And we just keep working towards what we want. And as obstacles come up, things get in our way, we just figure out a way to get around that. And then that's the next goal, right? And then we move back on to the big task. So today's just cardio, abs. I already did abs. I'm just out here walking. So with that, guys, make sure you're out there working towards your goals, getting your stuff done. Most of all, don't be a lazy fuck.